Hey.
I've been searching for the light. If you hear my shout, help me cast my demons out. I've been searching for the light. Almost made it through the night. If you hear my shout,
Let's go.
help
You know what I'm
me
talking
cast
about?
my demons.
I'm a priest every day. I ain't choosing my ways, just a slave. Need water, need to follow my way. It's I.S.U.P.K. And I notice you slightly depressed. That's from your walk, I know you had on shades. When I look into your eyes, it seems like you wanna die today, but don't let her shut up. Boy, I know that hoe I hear Papa tell. What's old to you, new to me. Call that bitch a garage sale, but on your case I heard it's cheating on you. Your money low and they don't wanna be round. I heard that you had the city on you, but now that bit like a ghost town. When your friends I heard you kill for any of them niggas, and I heard that from your song. But it's nice like they dismiss you. And I know I can't tell you nothing, but I'ma tell you straight up, you ain't nothing. Boy, you seeking hard for a nigga approval. Boy, you sign gay, switch topic. And I know you bait like tilapia, but your mind focused on the righteous. And the only nigga that's beside you that's gonna tell you like YAHANNA. And I know it seems like I'm bashing. I call that a two-edged sword, but hurt coming in, sting coming out. What you think being right's for, huh?
Be real.
I've been searching for the light.
Niggas swear they real, took out there, they hear some shit they ain't never heard before, man. And when they hear some shit they never heard, they wanna challenge that shit like it's wrong or something.
Help me cast my
Get your wicked ass mind right, nigga.
I've been searching for the light.
I'm here for you, man.
Almost made it
I ain't saying I'm perfect, but Christ said be ye perfect, bitch.
If you hear my shout,
Apply that shit, nigga.
cast my demons.
I'ma help you, I'ma show you, I paint that picture for you. You need to know the white man, the devil before I go in. You can't see that, I pull out my stats on how we kidnap. I'm pulling out fast about blast, how we got packed on damn shoots. It ain't no cap, and the damn shorts set us up like snacks. And the damn women have a damn shots in their laps, and it's all traps. But you gotta relapse on your damn history. I don't need no yacht if you came out. Where the hell we from? You hear this English, boy, but what's our tongue?
What's your home language, man?
I'ma tell you straight up. Yeah, I serve the Lord like ain't nothing to it. But I'm telling you, it's war like Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm on this land, and I got a plan. Just grab my hand, but I'm your second chance. If you don't understand, then I guess you're damn. But I'm here face to face, an angel to a fan. Whoa. Listen to the damn right turns. If you laugh, you might die unlearned. I'ma get you straight like a damn burn. 2G, bitch.
I've been searching for the light, just to
You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm here. I feel like we put on earth for a reason, man. But it's up to you to fill out that purpose, man. Ain't about getting your mind done, smoking weed and shit. Goddamn, sniffing cocaine or serving a white man all your life, nigga.
Almost made it.
You think the white man is God out here? That's why you don't question what the hell they doing out here, man. Cause you was serving them, man. Serve the Lord, you bitch, you. Like it.
I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G. Red beam on it, you think I'm recording. Kicking front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book a den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in the light, man. You niggas fake baby K name Adonis. Mini Drake, clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot for a minute straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. downs, my name, they more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name, they more for me. You won't see it coming, I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put, my aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long, a block away I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name, they more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name, they more for me. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name did more for me. Y'all keep the fame, I want the glory. Been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G. Red beam, 4G, red.
Hey, Israel, Shalom, Yahweh Shalom to all the brothers, Yahweh Shalom to all the sisters. This is Priest and Officer 500 Barak Ya'Allah. You understand? With the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? And tonight, just like us every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our scripture breakdown class, right? Officer 1000 Zabaja and 500 Shaiwan will be there shortly, so bear with me in the meantime. And tonight's topic, well, pretty obvious, you understand? We have Halloween coming up. We're going to break down how Halloween is, which could consider a pagan celebration. Not consider, but that's really what it is. It's a pagan celebration. And just like all these other pagan celebrations, whether it's the birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, which is coming up in the US, as a matter of fact, but it already passed in Canada, right? The Most High hates these days. He hates these celebrations, and whatever the Most High hates, you should hate as well. You should not partake in anything that is disgusting in the eyes of our Lord, in the eyes of our Father. You understand? The God of the nation of Israel, right? And matter of fact, so you know, in the I.S.U.P.K, just like the Bible, we follow the Bible. So it's like the Bible says, prove all things. We're going to prove you that the Most High is disgusted. The Most High despises those days, that we should not follow them. Not only that, but it is originating from our oppressor. Like Halloween, we did not come up with this. So why are we celebrating this? Like we don't even understand the celebrations that we partake in. And that's how destroyed we are. Because if we actually knew where it came from, we would never partake in birthdays, Halloween, Christmas, whatever the case is. Understand? But yeah, let's go into subscription real quick. Let me show you that the Most High does not like you celebrating these holidays, right? Ryan and Hashel, hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shabbat, where for tuning in. If anyone wants to be a trooper, if anyone wants to be in the school, there's a sign-in link in the chat. Make sure you sign in, right? And then we're gonna have the sign-out link as well. But, one moment. We're gonna jump right into scriptures, right? We're gonna start with the Old Testament, the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. And we'll show you that the Most High despise, meaning he hates, right? He dislikes, however you want to put it. He's not with it when it comes to celebrating those days, right? So let's read Amos chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I hate, I despise your feast days, right? So the Most High said right now, he hates you celebrating Halloween. Like he's not with it, right? But a Christian would tell you, yeah, the Most High loves everybody. No, the Most High, they say the Most High doesn't hate, right? There's no hate in the Bible. The Most High is saying right there, he despises. And hate is one thing, but to despise, this is a whole other level of hate. Like it should let you know. The Most High is not with it at all. He's not with it when you celebrate Halloween, celebrate Christmas. You're worshiping other gods in doing so. Right? And the Most High is a jealous God. As a matter of fact, we're going to get you that scripture as well, but we're just going to finish with Amos, right? Chapter 5, verse 21. We're going to read it again. You understand? Give me 1 second. Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Listen, Most High doesn't give a damn if you want to try to make your children happy to go door to door to get some candy. As a matter of fact, you're putting your children in danger. But we're going to touch on that afterwards during the class, right? They're going to be brought up by Officer 1000 Tabaja. But you're putting your children in danger by not even you going with them. That's one thing. You have them worship pagan gods, but a lot of y'all parents are so irresponsible. You will let your underage children, what age they are, you let your children go outside, go to the door and knock on a stranger's door to get some candy. Do you know how weird that sounds? Do I have to explain it to you? A grown adult offering children candy? You know how many predators there's out there? They think because they're not on the predator list that they're not predators? They just haven't been caught yet. Next thing you know, your child disappears. And if he or she even gets to come back, that child is destroyed. It has been abused. And whose fault it is? It's your fault, parents. It's your fault. And really, I'm addressing, we see all types of nations celebrating Halloween, but really, you already know that we are addressing the so-called Blacks, so-called Hispanics, and Native American Indians, who are the true 12 tribes, true biblical Jews of antiquity. This is who we're addressing. This is who this message is for. You should not have your child dress in whatever their costume is, disguise is, don't matter. You should not have them dressed as little demons, as little monsters. A lot of y'all are gonna have your daughters dressed as whores because you think it's, you really don't love your children. And the Most High said he hates those days. He despises those days. That's what you need to understand. You should never celebrate. You should never partake in whatever the Most High hates. Because what does that say about you? Like, God tells you to not do something, but you go ahead and do it. He tells you he hates you, living an alternative lifestyle, but you go ahead and wave the rainbow flag. You're damn near spitting in his face. And Lord be with you. If that's your intention in life, Lord be with you. I ain't got much to say about that, but right? The Most High hates those days. And not only that, but this is the culture of our oppressors. This is the culture of the heathens. And the Most High, not only that he hates those days, but he told us not to follow after them. Why? Because if you follow after their culture, everything that is a non-Israelite culture, like all those heathen culture, it's worshiping other gods, it's eating unlawful food, And God said, listen, if you worship anyone else but me, I'm just paraphrasing. He said, no, it's not going to go like that. I don't deal with them things. I'm going to show you that the Most High said he's a jealous God. Let me show you that right now, right? 1 second. I'm going to go into... Yeah, we're going to go into Exodus chapter 20, verse 5, where the Most High says himself that he's a jealous God. If anyone has any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in the chat. You understand? We'll address your questions and comments. Go ahead and put it in the chat. We're live on YouTube, I.S.U.P.K Toronto, Facebook, I.S.U.P.K Canada, and Twitter, I.S.U.P.K Toronto. Any questions, comments, put them in the chat. I'm sure that the Most High say he's a jealous God, right? What I say? Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. You understand? The Most High is a jealous God. He doesn't want you worshiping other God, not because he's a jealous God, but he said because he gives you instructions and rules to follow. So you follow after me, no one else. Right? Because you're selfish, because you get high, because you're disobedient, because you have no discipline, because you lack knowledge, because you reject the knowledge, you go worship a rock. You go worship a piece of wood. Like you go worship a piece of bark, right? You worship a fat Asian man. You worship the transgender god with 10 arms and the elephant god, whatever Egyptian god there is out there. Plus even the heathens know that the heathens would say Halloween is the day of the devil. So you go worship the devil on Halloween because you celebrate Halloween. This is especially for all you Christians out there who say, they love God, they follow after Christ, they follow after God. Y'all are damn liars and hypocrites. Because all you Christians on Tuesday, this weekend, I know all of y'all are going to Halloween parties. You damn sexual deviants. The women are going to be dressed like whores for fun. And the men are going to be, whoremongers, obviously. And we know they are, what do you call it again? Good night. I forgot how to call it. Well, substances. You understand? Just to put it that substances are going to be in play tonight, tomorrow night, last night, Tuesday night. It's going to be Halloween. Good night. It's going to be a weekend of debauchery. Why? Because you want to worship. If I'm not mistaken, it's the worship of a Celtic god, if I'm not mistaken, but Officer Zabaja will clear it up when he jumps in. You understand? But you just want to do everything else that God tells you to do. When I worship another God, God said, do not worship another God. He's a jealous God. He's not going to deal with it, lightly. Right? Let's jump to Exodus chapter 34, verse 14. Like, this whole book is our constitution. You see, just like the Americans have their constitution, Canada, every country has their constitution, rule that they need to abide by. The nation of Israel, which all the people call today as Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, those people that were enslaved in the Americas and the Caribbean, the Bible is our constitution. Right? Before we jump into Exodus chapter 34, verse 14, we have Officer 500 Sharwan who just jumped in. Hey, Shalom, Adawan, Yahba, Shabbat.
Yahba, Shemel, Shabbat. What's going on?
Holding down the class, Adawan, holding down the class. I think for Rob, we're just going in on Halloween and how we should not worship other gods. Because our Father is like, imagine imagine their kids that are following another man but you.
Okay.
But Salakia, do you want to take over the class?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Right. So like I said, we're gonna go. Salakia. We're gonna go to Exodus chapter 34, verse 14 again. I'm gonna show you that the Most High is a jealous God, right? Exodus 34, verse 14. For thou shalt not worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Most like a jealous God. The point is, you should not worship other gods by partaking in these celebrations, even though you say, well, I'm just doing it for the kids, or we're just going to get candy. Like, personally, even if you don't go celebrate Halloween, go do trick or treat, or go door to door, or dress up as an elf, or whatever whatever you put on yourself, Halloween, or even if you don't go to parties, I wouldn't even buy kids candies that day. Even if they want candy, I would not buy them candy, just to avoid anyone mistaking that we're partaking in that celebration. In the spirit of the Most High, don't even buy the kids candy that day. At this point, it is not a law not to buy kids candies or to give them chocolate. But, in the spirit of it, just don't do it. Why? It's Halloween. Why? Let's not eat candy for that day. Why not? It is not a commandment, but just don't. Why do it? Just don't do it. It's just like Valentine's Day. You can buy a gift any day of the year for your woman. Why wait till Valentine's? Just on that day, don't do it. Don't even hit the box on that day. I mean, it's not unlawful, but just don't do it. Especially if you have a partner that's in the world and they don't understand, right? Don't do that, because your kids are gonna be at school on Tuesday. It's gonna be Halloween. This time, yeah, anyone like kids, candy is being passed around by the teacher in the class. You don't take a candy. Why? You don't partake in that celebration, because for them, they passing candies because it's Halloween. Let's give the kids candies in class, right? But in the spirit of the Most High, you understand, in the Holy Spirit, you're gonna say, you know what? I don't want a candy. Why? Because I don't celebrate Halloween. But you're not celebrating, just taking the candy. Well, in your eyes, they're trying to be crafty with it. But say, well, it's just a candy. It's not like you're gonna celebrate with us. You're not gonna dress up as a dragon or whatever nonsense. Just don't take the candy so that you don't, partake in their spirit. That's what it is. Don't follow after them. And I'm gonna show you. We shouldn't even follow after them. It's in the Bible. You should not follow after these heathens. Let's go. So, Kevin, could you grab Jeremiah chapter 10, Baba Kusha?
Okay. Yeah, so that was exactly what I was thinking.
It's just like, for instance, another example, it's like Christmas. Your family having a Christmas dinner, a family reunion, don't go to that dinner. Like, there's 365 days a year, and you're gonna wait for that specific day, December 24th or the 25th, for some people to gather with your family. Don't go. Fast. I'm not saying go ahead and fast, but do anything opposite from the spirit of partaking in these celebrations. It's someone else's birthday. You don't know. They're having a barbecue. You got, oh, it's my birthday, by the way. Yeah, no sweat. Guess what? I'm leaving the party. Good night. Last week, I was walking on the block with my dog. I had an hour lunch. I stopped by, have a drink with the brothers. Brother came up to me. They're cooking soup, barbecue, everything. Like they always do. It's the block. Like, oh, by the way, it's my birthday. I'm like, yeah, no sweat. I left. In the next 5 minutes, I left. I'm not part of the celebration, but I'm not gonna show my presence in that celebration. Why? Because I don't take any parts in it. Like, you may have seen me outside. Yes, no sweat. It's my birthday. Okay, no sweat. Have a good one. I don't celebrate birthdays, but you don't want people thinking that you were part of the celebration just because you were there, even though you don't celebrate it. Like, I have a brother in the world. He called me tonight. He's like, hey, there's a party tonight whatsoever. Like, I think it's a Halloween party though. So, I'm gonna have to check you next week because I know you don't celebrate it, you don't partake in it. Like, yeah, no sweat, Most High in Christ, respect for that too. Because then when you're in the truth, you don't take part in any stupidness, any foolishness, any pagan celebration. If they're in the world, I mean, that's where we are. That's why we have these classes. to wake up the people in the world, to let them know, don't celebrate Halloween, don't celebrate birthdays, don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Your wife is gonna leave you because you don't want to do it for the kids. Don't sweat, leave. I'd rather follow God than follow a woman. Understand? Leave. 10 more is gonna come, and these 10 more, probably 5 we're gonna leave, and 5 is gonna stay in the truth and understand that we should not celebrate these holidays. Like, you're not the price. I want to be one of the 144,000 elect. And I'm gonna compromise for a piece of box. I'm gonna compromise because I cannot put my hand in the cookie jar no more. The hell with the cookies. I'm gonna starve myself. How about that? I'm gonna fast until the Lord comes. How about that? If you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to leave, leave. The door is wide open. Make sure, But yeah, let's get it. Jeremiah chapter 10, and I'm gonna read verse 2.
Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Read it again.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
We're not saying, what we say is what the Lord say. Right? Like, I'm not making stuff up, or I'm just, giving you my personal opinion. It's not gonna come in from the top of my head. No. The Lord says not to learn the way of the heathen. You think during slavery, when we're celebrating Halloween, you think we were dressing our kids? When we're going, good night. Lord be with you if you want to go door to door and knock on a slave master's door at night during slavery. Lord be with you. The point is, all these pagan celebrations, we were not celebrating them during slavery or even before slavery. And we were taught to celebrate these. We should not learn the way of the heathen. Halloween is a pagan celebration. If I'm not mistaken, it comes from the Celts. That's how you say it in English. The Celts, you understand? All that cutting, how do you call it again? The jack-o'-lanterns, cutting the pumpkins, candies, the trick-or-treat, right? This is all the way of the heathen. This is not our culture. This is not Israelite culture. A heathen is a non-Israelite. We should not partake in those celebrations. Like we read at the beginning of the class in Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Most High hates it. Like, he despises it. And, despise is a strong word for hate. It's not a level of hate. Matter of fact, hold that scripture out on. We're going to go to Psalms real quick, right? We're going to show you that you should hate what the Most High hates in the first place. So why are you celebrating Halloween? Look, this is Psalms, if I'm not mistaken, chapter 139. I mean, if I'm wrong, I don't want Give me 1 second, let me pull it up for y'all. You grab where David says, the perfect hatred, basically.
Psalms 139:21.
139, right? Yeah, that's why. Let me just get with you. Okay. So hold Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2, and and you have Psalm 139, verse 20. We're gonna start at verse 20, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Let me know when you got it.
Okay, this is Psalms chapter 139, verse 20.
Read.
For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain.
Slovakia. We have Officer 1000, Zabaja, who just jumped in. Hey, Shalom,
Hey, Shalom, Akim. I was going to let y'all finish the verse, but we're 12. Hey, what's going on, Akim?
Just breaking down basically Halloween, how we should not fall after the heathens. Amos chapter 5, verse 21, the Most High say he hates it, and we're just about to show that you should hate what the Most High hates with a perfect hatred. Okay.
All right, Barak, check your email real quick. Yahweh Bashim El Shai Barak Thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Thumb Bashim El Shai to all the sisters, priest and officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. Give a hand to Officer Shariwan and Officer Barak Allah. holding it down in my absence. So okay, in the earth right now, you got every heathen, including brothers and sisters, running around naked right now, acting like the LGBTQ community on Halloween. You got brothers. Listen, tonight you're gonna see brothers walking around with makeup on. Tomorrow they're gonna go back to acting like they are, like they're not moist, they're not like they're paused, like they're not weren't just out celebrating a heathen's holiday looking mad effeminate, right? Tonight you're going to see, if you have to go outside to the store or even to get gas, right? Let's say you're going outside to do a slave. If you got a slave tonight, you're going to be seeing sisters, because I saw this last night. I saw sisters that look no younger than, listen, these sisters could have been anywhere from 17 to at the most 23. And these sisters were dressed like women who walk the street in Las Vegas, right? Yeah, nice. They were dressed like they were women who work in the night, like bed workers, right? Women whose profession is majority of the time on their back. That's what these sisters look like. And tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, right? They're going to, on Sunday, they're going to be in the church. Tomorrow, they're going to be in church and acting like they just went outside with the rear end out, right? And this oppressor's holiday that everyone's celebrating, again, like you've probably heard Barak Ya'ala or Officer Sharyuan say it previously, is not of the Lord. That has nothing to do with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And there's another article. Okay, there's something that your Christian church is not telling you, right? Halloween directly ties into children going missing. And we're going to break it down to you, right? So, Barak Ya'ala, I sent you an article. It was in your email. Were you able to find it?
Like, I didn't see it in my email. If you could try to resend it again.
Khan, I'm going to check it out right now. 1 second. Let's see. I sent it to Barak Ya'ala at Gmail.
Okay, let me just double check again. Okay, I just got it.
It should be there. It should be from my. Can you pull up the first link? Right.
Kind of what time?
We're gonna go into a history, which we've done this previously. This is if you've been in here, if you've been for more than a year, this is nothing new that we're gonna bring out. Right. This is the same thing we're gonna bring out. Your Christian pastor is supposed to be bringing this out and telling you, but because the Christian pastor is not of the Lord, right? That church is not of God. Again, every sister that's going to be out tonight in the club, right, naked. These sisters are going to be naked, Barak Ya'ala. Listen, Officer Sharyuan, these sisters, you're going to see exactly how the Lord made them by when they're walking down the street. Everything that's supposed to be for their husband's eyes only is going to be in full view as they walk down the street to get into some club. And it's cold outside. Good night. It is cold outside. And they're going to be lining up to go to some club on King Street, on Queen Street. Barak, I have no idea the name of the streets of the club district in your area, right? But in the city of Toronto, they're going to be lined up to get into these clubs. They're going to be going to these Airbnb house parties, getting high, getting drunk. Unfortunately, horrible things are going to happen to these sisters tonight because they don't have a hedge around them, right? And when their father was telling them to stay inside, they wanted to sneak out. Or if their man was telling them, my love, you should not wear that outside, they wanted to tell him, you cannot tell me what to wear.
Right.
Come by morning time, they're going to be in the police station making reports about all the horrible things that happened to them. Some of these sisters and some of you brothers, you're going to the club tonight to go, for lack of better words, smash on a brother or sister. You're trying to get slid on, right? You're trying to slide on a sister, and you sisters are trying to get slid on outside that club for a bottle of overpriced Hennessy because the Casamigos was pouring up, right? And in the morning, you're going to wonder if you even wore protection. And 3 weeks from now, when your flower's not showing up, you're going to be wondering, is this man that you slept with that hasn't called you back since that night, right? Is he going to want to take care of this child? You're going to contemplate, are you going to keep the child? All because of one drunken Halloween night. Right. So we're going to go into the history of Halloween. Again, Halloween has nothing to do with the Most High. Right. Halloween is listen, you're going to see countless acts of violence in so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American communities and Halloween. Right. All right. So Barak, whenever you have that article, you can go into it.
Halloween 2023. By History.com editors. So, Halloween is a holiday celebrated each year on October 31st, and Halloween 2023 will occur on Tuesday, October 31st. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which is written Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts.
Right. So again, as Barak is reading, you're finding out this is the actual origins of Halloween, where it goes back to. It goes back to a Celtic festival, right? It goes back to the people of Japhet, right, and the Druids, right? Samhain was the name of the festival. People they were lighting bonfires, right, because they believed that ghosts on the Halloween celebration, ghosts would and spirits would walk the earth, right? That's why you see,
right?
You just go outside in your neighborhood after this class, right? Or you could do it tomorrow morning, because these what they put up for decorations, right? Their idols and the things they put up to represent the dead for decorations is going to be up until the 31st, right? People would put these decorations up or dress like the dead because they felt ghosts were walking around them and they wanted the ghosts to be comfortable, right? Again, this if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you are the children of the living God, not the God of the dead, right? You got, listen, our Issacharite brothers, they celebrate the dead, right? And that also has nothing to do with the Most High, right? Celebrating the dead has nothing to do with the Most High. We're alive today in this school. The I.S.U.P.K is alive today, right? Under commanding General YAHANNA, because the Most High is the God of the living and not the God of the dead, right? Barak, you can keep reading.
Khan. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor All Saints. Soon, All Saints Day incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain. The evening before was known as All Hallows Eve and later Halloween.
All right, Barak, jump down to where it says ancient history of Halloween.
Khan. Ancient history of Halloween. Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain.
So, Barak, the festival that you're talking about, that you're reading about, it dates back to the Most High. Is that what that just said?
Lord one. Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain.
Right. So what Barak just read is this has nothing to do with the feast days that Moses gave the children of Israel, right? The feast days that were handed to Moses from the Most High and given to the children of Israel. You can find that in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, right? That has nothing to do with what we're reading right now, right? That has nothing to do with it. You're not going to find Samhain or this Celtic festival in the Salakia. Officer Shariwan, I'm going to need you to, can you Google origins of Halloween? Okay, Brock's back.
Okay.
He'll be a moment, right? But this festival has absolutely nothing to do with Halloween, right? Slovakia. Hold up. Good night. This thing's moving like its own mind right now. All right. Right. So again, this festival, that is not good. This festival again has nothing to do with whatever the Most High gave us, our high holy days. Right. It's not there. You're not gonna find it. It's not there at all. Right. What we're reading is everything to do with heathen practices. Again, this has nothing to do with the Most High. Barak, are you still with us?
Kanawakan.
All right, you can keep reading.
Kanawakan. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st.
God, so what you're finding out is this is a end of the year celebration for them. Halloween is an end of the year celebration. The new year, Halloween falls on the 31st of October. The new year for these Celts, these Celtic people, right? For the Celtic people, they were celebrating their new year on November 1st, right?
Right.
Years later, the church turned it into All Saints Day. You can keep reading, Barak.
Kanawakan. This day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death.
Right. So, okay, the seasons are a cycle of life, right? The seasons are a cycle of life. In the fall, the plants start to shrivel up. They lose their foliage, right? And they basically go into a sleep or they die for the winter. Everything is dead in the winter. This is a cut to the Christians as well. That will be outside in their city cores, in the downtown of their city cores. They'll be outside celebrating New Year's. They'll be outside celebrating New Year's in the dead of winter, talking about it's a new year, right? That goes back to heathen practices. When we read the scriptures, we find out that the new year for the Lord is in the spring, is during the Passover, the first month of the year, right? For these heathens, they celebrate their New Year's in the winter when everything's dead, right? Heathens are spiritually dead, Akim.
Kanawakan.
Right? There is no spirit in them. Just look at what they do. If you just look at heathens in general, right? They are spiritually dead. They have no spirit in them. They don't understand what the hell is going on in the earth or around them. Right? I was watching one of the camp tapes out of UK today. Right? The Captain Mashak had his men, right, outside. They were at camp and they're waking up Israelites talking about Christ is black, and Palestinians come over and all they see is the shield of David. All they see is the banner that says Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And they start to get riled up because they believe that, all right, we'll say it like this. They all they see is something the oppressor stole. That shield, that signet of Zion, the oppressor stole it and polluted it. So now
Right.
when Akim are outside rocking their shield, right, and we rock our shield, we got like, listen, you might see us in a garment. That thing might have like 20 shields on it, Salakia, depending on who designed it, right? It might say your name and your tribe. It might have the signet of your tribe, whether it be a wolf, whether it be a ship, some grapes, some dice, right? Whether it be a lion, a unicorn, or a battle axe, right? They see the shield and they're triggered by the shield because some devils have it. These heathens they're not seeing that what Captain Meshach and his men are saying is going against everything that the little hat, the Jewish man, is doing against Palestine. Right now, I'm not saying that Captain Meshach and the officers and the captains and officers in the UK are in support of Palestine, right? Because we're not in support of either side. We're not even choosing a side. We chose Christ, and Christ is going to destroy the heathens for what they're doing. But again, heathens are spiritually dead. They have no spirit in them. That's why they go outside and they want to worship the dead. They want to worship everything that has nothing to do with the God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. And that's what you're seeing outside. So Barak, you can keep reading. And Akim, if anytime y'all want to jump in, y'all could jump in.
Khan. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to earth. Salakia, Adawan.
Khan.
Just like you said, the heathens are spiritually dead. They cannot, I mean, how could I put it? The way it was described right here is just another horror movie of Hollywood. Like, you know, this is just like it's damn near a cartoon. This is for lack of better words, like fantasy. Like it's damn near lunacy, if I could put it like that. If you imagine, it's damn near like saying a zombie is just gonna come up the ground, or next day I'm gonna see a werewolf or a vampire on the street. That's basically what they're describing, and that's sick to believe that we celebrate lunacy. If I tell you tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna put a jack-o'-lantern or a skeleton in front of my house just to keep vampires away or witches, I'm gonna be locked in a psych ward. So lock y'all one.
God, well, that is definitely what these oppressors do, what these heathens do. These heathens, they just listen. Okay, long story short, these heathens made a day and made up some story about some ghouls and goblins and ghosts so they can go commit crime. That's what we're going to get into after. Shariwan?
Khan, slack it on, if I may. You know, like, just to add on to that point, it's like we're actually living in a time where, like, we can see how spiritually dead these other nations are. And what, like, to kind of add on, what I mean by that is, like, we saw during COVID, we saw, like, an entire nation, you know what I mean, of East Indians literally throwing their gods, you know, what they believed were their gods, in a river because everybody's dying of COVID. You know what I mean? And it's like, as these wars continue to go on, like, we're going to see where is Allah? You know what I mean? Where's the God of the Muslims? You know, where's your Buddha? Where's your white Jesus to save you during all these times? You know what I mean? Like, we saw the entire Christian church shut down during COVID. You know what I mean? But we sitting here in the I.S.U.P.K, we never stopped our classes. We never stopped doing the work of the Lord. You know what I mean? And so it's just a beautiful thing to see. You know what I mean? Like, it really brings that one scripture to life too, where it says the Lord is a man of war. You know what I mean? And throughout the Bible, we always saw whose side the Lord was on. And you're going to see during these times, like, these other nations, they don't have a God. You know what I mean? They don't have the Most High on their side. They don't have a power strong enough to save them out of all the horrors that are going on in this world right now. It's lucky.
Right. Nah, that's definitely heavy. The heathens aren't a godly people because the Lord is not with them. Right? The Lord chose Jacob. He chose Abraham all the way down to Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons and they had families, and that's who the Lord's with. Right? I've asked these Muslims already, why isn't Allah protecting y'all? Why isn't Allah stopping the Jewish people, the Caucasian people, from bombing y'all? And some of them said it's the Lord's judgment. It's Allah's judgment. That's what they said. And some of them said, well, that is the Holy Land. And I said, that's the Holy Land for who? Some of them even said, one Muslim person said to me, listen, this conflict's not going to stop until Christ comes. I said, until Christ comes?
Most High in Christ.
I said, good night. All right. Like, if you say so, good night. Listen, they don't even know what to believe. They don't believe themselves, right? But back to our topic, Halloween is not of the Lord. This is a day that heathens made they want to wild out. They want to have orgies. They want to get drunk. They want to commit crime. They want to. Have you seen when London, England loses a Premier League game? When Liverpool loses against Arsenal. It's the Boston Tea Party all over again. It is the English versus the French all over again. Right? You would think the IRA is in town. I don't even remember who the IRA was fighting, right? I was a bunch of Caucasian criminals in Ireland. Right? You would believe the IRA is in town when Caucasians lose a sporting event. And this is what they do. This is what it dates back to. Right? The Japhites had a culture of criminality. Sure, you want Barak Allah. Let's keep reading.
Khan. In addition to causing trouble and damaging crops, Celts thought that the presence of the otherworldly spirits made it easier for the Druids or Celtic priests to make predictions about the future. For a people entirely dependent on the volatile natural world, these prophecies were an important source of comfort during the long, dark winter.
Keep going.
To commemorate the event, Druids built huge sacred bonfires where the people gathered to burn crops and animals as sacrifices to the Celtic deities. During the celebration, the Celts wore costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and attempted to tell each other's fortunes. Good night.
Right. So again, that's where your whole dress up for Halloween comes. Listen, you got sisters outside right now. They're dressed up as a slutty cat. Salakia. I'm gonna say it just like that. That's how they're dressed up. And you're asking this sister, why? You're looking at it like, why does she have her rear end out? Why is she naked in the streets? She's dressed up as a cat, right? Because her father is not there to protect her. And because the Christian church wants us to love everybody. Now listen, this is a Christian church problem. This is not a problem in the I.S.U.P.K. This is a Christian church problem, right? Why Why is it a Christian church problem? I'm going to explain it to you why. The Christian church says the law is done away with. You do not have to keep the law. So if you don't have to keep the law, that means you don't have to love God. You don't have to follow him, right? And because the Christian church also says, Salaki, wait, I'm looking for something. The Christian church also says that, okay, the law is done away with, and you got to love everybody. That means you got to love everybody, even their gods. So now brothers and sisters go outside loving their gods, loving the gods of other people, right? That's not what's supposed to be happening. The Most High, he doesn't like these feast days, right? Can someone get me the precept, have no other gods before me?
Karawakan.
Someone get that. And Shari, Baraki Allah, you could keep reading.
Karawakan. When the celebration was over, they relit their heart fires, which they had extinguished earlier that evening, for the sacred bonfire to help protect them during the coming winter. By 43 AD, the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic territory. In the course of the 400 years that they ruled the Celtic lands, 2 festivals of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain.
Wait, so Baraki Allah, are you saying these festivals that were combined, they had nothing to do with the Lord?
Kananawakan.
And that's exactly what you're finding out, right? One moment. Shariwan, if you have that precept, can you read it?
Come. This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right. We're not supposed to have any other gods other than the Most High. Halloween is a celebration of the gods of the heathens. Shariwan, read that one more time. Tell them where you're at.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
You're not supposed to have any other gods before the Most High. Right. There's only one God. There's only one living God. Everything else is idols. Right. You're not supposed to have any other God other than the Most High, Yahweh in the Hebrew. Right. Baraki Allah, go back to Slovakia. Baraki Allah, read what you just read earlier.
Karawakan. By 43 AD, the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic territory. In the course of the 400 years that they ruled the Celtic lands, 2 festivals of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain.
And those celebrations with the combined traditions of Samhain is the worship of other gods, the worship of the dead, the worship of spirits, right? And this has nothing to do with the Most High. The Most High said we're not supposed to have other gods before him, right? The Christian church says the law is done away with, but the Christian church is essentially, I'll show you on, where did you read what you just read from?
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3.
To a Christian, what would that be?
So I can on nothing.
To a Christian, that's the Old Testament.
Right.
Karawakan.
Right. The Christian, The Christians say that's the Old Testament. Well, Akim, what do the Christians say about the Old Testament? Whenever you read something from the Old Testament, what is a Christian's favorite thing to say? Anyone can answer.
Salakia one.
Khan.
If I may, they say those were the old days, but this is done. This is part of the law that was done away with.
So having no other God before the Most High, a Christian would say what about it?
It is done away with.
So that means, according to Christians, this is what they say. That's what they say. As for why they're out right now celebrating Halloween.
Kind of a con.
Right. Listen, if we were outside taking interviews right now, we'd be asking these people outside what religion do they subscribe to. Listen, what you're gonna find out is there's gonna be Buddhists out there, there's gonna be Hindus, there's gonna be all sorts of Christianity outside tonight naked. There's going to be Muslims outside, right? They're going to fast for 30 days of I don't know what the hell they're doing. And then they're going to go outside and celebrate Halloween. All right, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to try and tell you that their book is better and everyone should follow them.
Right.
But they're outside following the Druids, following the Celtics. The Celtics and the Romans. All right. Christians say the law is done away with, so they're outside celebrating Halloween. This is a Christian problem. This is not a problem in the I.S.U.P.K. The I.S.U.P.K, we are not celebrating Halloween.
Yeah, I'm right.
Right. We understand that our God is the God of the living, and the dead don't rise. The dead. Listen, okay, you come in here and get a name and change your ways. That's how the dead rises. That's how the dead come back to life, right? But you thinking that you got to go outside and bang on some doors and dress like a vampire. Listen, good night. Listen, any brother dressing like a vampire, you are automatically suspect to me.
Salakia one. If I may.
Do I have to go into it? You brothers are dressing like vampires. That's suspect. Which brother's neck are you going at? You trying to get the blood from the neck. Good night. Listen, that is horrible. What are you brothers? I see. I don't know if y'all watch battle rap, Akim, but I like battle rap. I watched Murder Mook give Tay-Rock a 3-0. Tay-Rock came in there, and listen, if you're familiar with battle rap, in the URL, which is the battle rap league, they suspect Tay-Rock of getting with Transformers.
Good night. He's a vampire.
Hey, listen, Tay-Rock came to the battle against Murder Mook dressed as Dracula, and Murder Mook said, "Listen, you are suspect because you're going for brothers' necks." You're a sucker.
Pause.
Listen, y'all gotta go watch that battle, man. It is hilarious. It's battle rap greatness, right? But listen, any brother dressing up as a vampire, you're a suspect. I'm expecting to see you on some news channel during the month of June in the village. I'm expecting that. If you dressed up as a vampire, or did any type of Halloween things, right, where you dressed up as a goon or a goblin, next June, when I turn on CP24, and I try not to turn on the news during the month of June too much, because it's just wild, right? I'm expecting to see you doing the wild things. Now, not because that it's a right thing to do, it's because I think you're suspect.
Right.
It's because I think you are fruit of the loom. It's a lot, yeah. Right. Barack Allah would have said Squidward and say, "Yo, Mark." So
Dolphin man.
All right, so let's get back into this article. Again, Shar, you just read we're not supposed to have no other gods. Let's see if there's anything else in this that I might read.
Khan, so like the other one, if I may.
Khan.
The next paragraph is giving you the Roman gods that are worshipped during Halloween. And one of these gods,
let's get into it.
Khan. So the first was Feralia, a day in late October when Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. And the second day, Salakia, the second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. The symbol of Pomona is the apple. Salakia, other one?
Barack, you gotta hold it right there. Barack, you listen, we just said it. Halloween is fruity, right?
Right.
Now you're finding out. We just said it, you just read it. Halloween is fruity. It's for spiritually dead people who do not have the spirit of the Most High, right? And then it's to a Roman goddess of fruits. Listen, I told you, brothers, y'all dressing up as Halloween, y'all are fruits, right?
Khan.
You can keep reading, Barack.
Khan. The symbol of Pomona is the apple, and the incorporation of this celebration into Samhain probably explains the tradition of bobbing for apples that is practiced today on Halloween.
Pause. Listen, just pause.
Pause.
Listen, y'all brothers better not be bobbing for nothing.
Good night.
Listen, I'm telling you, it gets scary. It gets more scary. Listen, it's the symbol of apples for that goddess. It's all types of weird. We already know the Romans and the Greeks were part of the LGBTQ community, right? And now you're dunking your head into a bucket of water with someone else's spit because they're dunking their head into that bucket trying to bob for apples with someone else's spit. Good night. Listen, it's all bad. What you want to do is get your children far away from Christianity. And I told you that Halloween is linked to children going missing, and we're gonna break it down. Right. But Shah, you want Barack Allah, you could keep reading.
Khan.
Can you get Proverbs 3 and 31 and hold that?
Khan.
All Saints Day. Khan. On May 13th, 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in honor of all Christian martyrs. And the Catholic Feast of All Martyrs Day was established in the Western Church.
So that Pantheon it was basically like a room that was dedicated to the gods. You would go in there, they'd have different pedestals, different busts or carvings or statues of gods, right?
If I may, could you even say it was their version of their Hall of Fame?
Khan, you could treat it like that. You could look at it definitely like it's a Hall of Fame, right? But it's a simple plain way to say it. It's a room full of idols.
Khan.
Listen, you go into, unfortunately, many of the Hispanic speaking tribes, right? They have a pantheon of idols, right? Because of the Catholic Church. You go into that house and what you think are just figurines. No, it's Saint Louis, it's Saint Michael, it's Saint, I don't know how many saints they have, right? But a saint for everything is on that dresser with candles and playing cards. Like they got these saints on playing cards. They look like baseball cards, right? I don't know how many of the Akim ever collected baseball cards, right? Or sports cards in general. But that's what it looks like. And it has nothing to do with the Most High. Right? These are feast days of the oppressors. You can keep reading. There was something I did want to get into just a little. We could probably drop that. You can find this article on history, just the origins of Halloween. Brock, can you look at the top of this article? It says the top of this article, when it goes to the table of contents, can you look for history of trick-or-treating? Right. You look for a history of Trick-or-Treating, and we'll hold that for now. Officer Shariwan, can you read the Proverbs 3 and 31, Baba Kasha?
Come. This book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Right. Envy not the oppressor. You want to be nothing like the oppressor. Don't worry about what the oppressor has. These sisters envy the oppressor. Brothers, you are envying the oppressor. So you want to go and celebrate like him. You want to be just like him. You think if you get a snow roach that your life is going to get better. Right? You think that if you go get a wash pot, your life is going to get better. Well, Jeezy is divorcing his wash pot.
Damn right.
He
Most
is
ain't cry.
divorcing his wash pot, right? Lord allow he gets a sister, right? It would be better for brothers and sisters not to get with heathens. Stick to Black, Hispanic, and Native American. That's what it would be better for that, and not to divorce, right? I was watching a video earlier today. They're talking about the child support system. We don't need a child support system. We have a system that works. It's the I.S.U.P.K. It works. You court a sister for 6 months to a year. Hell, you court a sister for 2 years if you have to, need be. Ask every question. Get into a couple arguments with that sister to see how she reacts, so you know what you're getting into. Right? You court that sister. You get counsel. Ask every question. Talk to her family. Talk to her ex. Talk to her father, her mother, her brother. Talk to her friends. Ask them questions. Find out who you're with. And once you lay with that sister, just understand, before you do that, you cannot leave her unless she lays with another man. Boom. Child support system's done. You don't even need it. Right? Sure, you want to read that one more time?
Come. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Right. Envy thou not the oppressor. Right. You don't want to be like him. You don't want to think. Listen, a lot of times the Christian church teaches Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that the oppressor's ways are better. They put up a fake image of a black man, right, and made it a white man. They whitewashed the image of a black man. And now Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans think that the way of the oppressor, the way of the colonizer, is the way to go. Right? And Amari Stoudemire, he envies his oppressor. He wants to be just like them. He is a traitor.
Right.
You see the same thing with the Black police officers and the politicians and the church leaders, right? You find out that, listen, these people want to be just like the oppressor. They think the oppressor's way of life, his system, is going to make their lives better. When it destroys them in such a way. Listen, Black police officers, have you ever seen a Black police officer at the family function?
Lahada one.
Have you ever seen a Black police officer at the cookout?
Lahada one. Salakia one.
Where do the Black police officers hang out?
At the
Anybody
police
know?
officer bars.
Right. The black police officer does not come around Black people. Why? Because he's busy trying to impress his colleagues, his overseers.
Salakia one.
He's trying to impress them. Khan.
You will see them at the cookout when someone complains about the noise and they need to prove themselves to the oppressor.
Right.
You will see them around our people when they need to make an arrest to prove that they are loyal to the badge.
Right. That's when you see the Black police officer. He is fully invested. His heart is deep into loving the oppressor. This just happens. Listen, I've seen black police officers my whole life. I've shot you on. We've walked in Jane and Finch. Jane and Finch has damn near the highest concentration of black police officers in the city of Toronto. Where do those black police officers go when their shift is done? Who are they around? How comes they're not in the barbershops? How comes they're not at the rec center playing ball? Why aren't they in the same communities that they patrol, trying to talk to the people? Now listen, we should be policing ourselves, right? And I know this is off topic. This is off topic, right? Because the topic is Halloween, but because of this precept, we should be policing ourselves. So that means black men patrolling our neighborhoods to keep our neighborhoods safe and keep brothers in check, right? That's what we should be doing. But where are the black police officers? I would expect a black police officer to, after his shift, come back to the neighborhood every once in a while and be like, hey, what's going on? I'm just out here. Let's go play some ball. Let's kick it. I brought some bears. What's going on? That does not happen. He brought some strong. He brought some steaks to the cookout. He brought his family. That does not happen because he envies his oppressor. Right? Celebrating Halloween is the envy of your oppressor. You're going to see a bunch of sisters outside naked because they want to be like the oppressor's daughter who's naked. That whole being naked and being a whore, that is something that the oppressor's daughter is she does that best. She's well known for it. Right? You see you see a sister like Sexy Red, who a sister like that, she probably doesn't even really want to be acting like that, right? Or it's two things. She probably doesn't want to be acting like that, or she is fully bought into acting like that because that is how all oppressors' daughters make it rich. That's how they make it famous. She's trying to be the next Kim Kardashian, right? And Kim Kardashian she's just trying to be Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
Right. And the rest of them are, listen, they all go back to all these oppressors' daughters can go back to some previous generation of an oppressor's daughter to look up to. Right. That's what they're doing. They want to be like the oppressor. That's why you're gonna see a bunch of sisters just naked. Ask them why they're doing it. They're gonna say they're not gonna have a reason. Their reason 9 times out of 10 is gonna be because it's Halloween. But why are you naked? Because it's Halloween. No, but what's the real reason you're outside right now? Right? You ask these sisters, why are they twerking on the camera? Why are they doing the shameful things that they're doing on camera? You're going to find out they just want to be famous. You ask them who got on like that to be famous, they're going to always revert to some Caucasian woman. Show you why. Is there anything else left in that?
Come and choose none of his ways.
Right. You do not want to choose any of the oppressor's ways. His ways have nothing to do with the ways of the Most High. Halloween, the celebration of Halloween, is the oppressor's way. It's his way. It's their way of life. They celebrate the dead. They send their daughters out naked. They sacrifice their children to these idols. That is not the way of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You want your children to follow something, you should get them to follow Commanding General YAHANNA.
Damn right.
Bring them into the I.S.U.P.K. and have them sit down and learn that. You want them to learn something that's going to benefit them. Halloween has no benefit to us. It absolutely has no benefits to us. What you're doing is you're teaching your child to go against the Most High, and you ingrain it in that child for such a young age, right? What Shaywan? At what age do they usually start trying to celebrate Halloween with children in school, or what grade?
Salakia, the one.
Khan.
They do it right from daycare. They got I think they'll take those babies in daycare right from like 8 months, and right from then they got Christmas, Halloween, Easter. It's not even. It'll be the dead of summer, and they'll be celebrating Christmas in there, just as some arts and crafts for the kids.
Good night. What do an 8-month-old baby know about Halloween? That baby even know how to say Abba yet? Like, good night. They had that baby celebrating Halloween. The baby didn't say its first word, and they have it in there talking about you could be a goblin today.
Yes,
right? They're indoctrinating our children from a young age, and what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to brainwash them. While they're trying to fill that brain with all types of abominations and despicable things, we're supposed to brainwash these children, wash that off. Teach them that Christ is black. Teach them that the God of the Bible is black. Teach them that the Bible is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Black and brown supposed to come together, right? That's what we're supposed to be teaching them. Shariwan, you had something?
Yeah, so like I was gonna add one thing small, and it's not that they're even just like showing them these arts and crafts and shit, but like I remember my son, he was like 2 years old, and he came home and he had I think it was Jingle Bells that rhyme stuck in his head, and it's like he doesn't even know the song of it, but like he has that Jingle Bells rhythm or whatever ingrained in his head. And so it's like it's a straight up war, you know what I mean, trying to battle like all the different powers that be, you know what I mean, because it's like he gonna turn 5-6 years old, he's gonna hear that song again, and he might be thinking like, oh, why do I love this song so much, or why is this song stuck in my head? You know what I mean? It's like all these different advertisements and daycares and schools constantly trying to push this stuff on our kids. It's a straight up war out here.
Yeah, no doubt. You are definitely serious. Listen, confession is good for the soul. Back in the world, when I was a young man, a teenager, I was working at Krispy Kreme Donuts. This is over 10 years ago. Listen, they would be playing Christmas songs during the Christmas holiday, and that Jingle Bell Rock is catchy as hell, especially when they start throwing the remixes on. And I would be at work bopping my head. I don't even like that song, but it's so catchy, it's so repetitive, it's just playing and playing and playing, and then somehow it's 3 hours after work, you're home and you're singing Jingle Bell Rocks, and Jingle Bell Rocks is not even playing, right?
Yeah.
So that is definitely a heavy thing that you're talking about. They do try to program our children, program brothers and sisters, and
Right.
it happens from such a young age that by the time that child starts to walk and talk and he's going to school, he's going to be noticing everyone is going to be dressing up. And I can't tell parents what to do, right, with their children, and I know sometimes the slavery aspect of our life makes things 1,000 times harder. I'll just be keeping my daughter home during Halloween. During those feast days, I will take the day off work. I will bite the L on the amount of money I'm going to lose just to keep my daughter home. My children, they'll stay home with me. We'll be listening to old tapes of Captain Akkad.
Damn
We'll
right.
be listening to Prepare Slaughter on repeat. They're going to be trying to program them with Halloween, and I'm programming them with Captain Akkad, 144 The Rebel. Prepare Slaughter. Some Kimo Sabi, that Let's Get To It, La Payad's Pain, right? Zion, he got some crazy tunes. We're gonna be listening to "Jumped in the Water to Swim with the Sharks" out of Philly. That's what during Christmas time. That's what we're gonna be listening to. During Halloween time, that's what they're going to be listening to. Right? Simply because the earth is trying to program our children with things that go against the Most High, and they know that if they can keep us sinning against the Most High, their rulership will last just a little longer. Right? Where are we now? Okay, y'all got anything else y'all want to add? Y'all can jump in at any time. If not, we're gonna keep going forward. Barak, what was I having you
I'm
read?
holding the history of trick-or-treating.
God, yeah, you can get into that. The history of trick-or-treating.
Kanawakan. History of trick-or-treating. Borrowing from European traditions, Americans began to dress up in costumes and go house to house asking for food or money, a practice that eventually became today's trick-or-treat tradition.
Right. Shariwan, can you get Ezekiel 20 and 31? This is okay. So listen, I told you we're going to link trick-or-treating and children going missing. I'm gonna show you the link right here, right? What's the one thing a parent tells a child not to do when they're walking outside?
So like I want stranger danger.
Stranger danger. You tell that child, don't talk to strangers. You listen, it could be the most harmless individual. You know that person is not harmful. But you're gonna tell your child the same way, do not talk to that person. Right? You're going to advise your child and discipline them in learning not to talk to people that your father or your mother did not approve of.
Right.
Right. This is not friends or family. Do not talk to them. Because Barak, what did you say earlier?
Stranger danger.
Right. A stranger is a danger to a child. You don't know who this person is. They look harmless. Listen, a lion looks cuddly at first. Good night. That black bear, it looks kind of soft and cuddly. Right? It looks like, oh, listen, it's a bear. I just want to pet it. All right. Until that bear starts to growl. Until that bear says, this person smells like salmon. This brother right here smells like salmon. Good night. But listen, I'm not gonna say brother because brothers don't walk upon bears. But this Edomite smells like salmon. It looks like it. Listen, I'm talking about that raw salmon. You know, the salmon that's been on the shore banks for like 3 days. It smells like that. This Edomite smells like salmon. Good night. And now the bear is saying, listen, this stranger is not a danger to me. This stranger looks like food. Well, that's what strangers to young children are. Right? A stranger to a young child is a cuddly bear. The one that you seen in the forest, it looked like it was just so cuddly. It looked like the teddy bear that was in your crib. You want to run up and you want to go to the stranger. That bear is a horrible, horrible killer.
Right.
Unalive your child. Right. Barak, keep reading.
Kanawakan. Young women believed that on Halloween they could divine the name or appearance of their future husband by doing tricks with yarn, apple parings, or mirrors.
Hey, those druid women, them Celtic hoes, they were turning tricks, trying to get a husband. Yeah. Good night. Oh man, they're trying to get the trick or the treat.
Good night.
That is, again, this is why our young sisters are going outside and being taken advantage of.
Right.
This right here, Barak, read that again.
Kanawakan. Salakia. Young women believed that on Halloween they could divine the name of or appearance of their future husband by doing tricks with yarn, apple parings, or mirrors.
Listen, Salakia, this sounds exactly like what every woman in the world. All right, I want to see Akim. Y'all paying attention to what's going on social media and what these sisters be saying, what these brothers who follow sisters, and any brother who says this, right? What we're going to say next. He is not a leader. He's a follower. He follows. Now, okay, let me correct myself. There's nothing wrong with following a good leader. We follow
Right.
Commanding General YAHANNA. Right? Commanding General YAHANNA sent us Officer Aban, and we follow that brother. Right? So there's nothing wrong with following a man of the Lord. Right? But brothers be outside following women. Right? They follow these women right off the edge of the cliff. Right? Officer Barakiala, take over for a second.
Kind of a con. You understand? And just like we just read, right? Whether it's Halloween or trick-or-treating, it's all heathen. It's all heathen custom in the first place. Like a lot of y'all be saying, you know, oh, we're woke or I'm not a slave, this or that. You're literally the opposite of what you claim to be. Like, how you gonna be woke and be free and following after the culture of the people that put you in chains? You know how crazy does that sound? Like, this is literally, like they said, you know, at the top of the article about trick-or-treating, we're borrowing from European traditions. All that dress up, going house to house, asking for candies. This is European tradition. It came from the Celts in the first place, right? Then the Romans incorporated their own traditions in what used to be Samhain to what is today Halloween, where now you're bobbing for apples. Pause. Where you're worshiping the goddess of fruits and the Roman goddess Pomona of fruits and trees. Right? You're celebrating after. You're just following Caucasian culture. Let me just say it like that, straight up. You're following the oppressor's culture. You understand? And when we read in the article where it says young women believe that on Halloween they could divine the name or appearance of their future husband, you know, by doing tricks with yarn, apple parings, or mirrors, it's just like how could I put it? It's just like playing tarot cards or using the Ouija board. The Ouija board, or they're in the mirror. I don't know about you, I remember in high school they go in the mirror. The chicks go in the bathroom and they play Bloody Mary. Say just like they say Candyman 3 times in the mirror, and they say Bloody Mary 3 times in the dark. And some that's what it sounds like. Like say Bloody Mary 3 times, and she's gonna appear and drag you in the mirror and unalive you.
Yeah.
You know, listen, you're following after your oppressor's culture, and all of our oppressor's culture is just either is sexual deviancy or lunacy. That's all it is. Sexual deviancy or lunacy. Even the heathens, they understand that their gods are not reliable. Just like Officer Sharwan brought up earlier, the East Indians, they were throwing all their gods in the river: the elephants, the crocodile, the monkey, the rat, the transgender with 10 arms. You know. Yet you want to follow after gods that their own heathens say they don't even want to follow anymore. That's more of an example of what we call Stockholm syndrome, where the heathens say, you know, they show you a little bit of, I'm not even going to say it's love or compassion. They just give you a crumb and you say, you know what, maybe I should follow after them. Because we reject the knowledge again. So like if you could grab Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, right? This is what we destroy because we reject our knowledge. We're trying to gravitate to anything we think we might be able to relate to, right? And when we grasp to something we think we might be able to relate to, like Christianity or Islam or whatever nonsense you follow, you understand? You take everything in, pause, You grasp every aspect of that culture you're trying to partake in, right? Like Will Smith has a East Indian guru, for example. Just a quick example, right? Will Smith has an East Indian guru. His so-called wife, who's technically not his wife anymore, is a whore, and whoredom is damn near second nature in India. If y'all don't know, one of the oldest brothel is in India. You understand? So he wants to have an East Indian guru. He's gonna partake in every aspect of the culture. Having a wife, having a whore as a wife is normal for them. So why not for him? I'm gonna tell you why it's not normal for him, because he is part of the 12 tribes of Israel. He is not supposed to have a whore as a wife. He's supposed to let that whore go a long time ago. Right? But that's just a quick example of how when you partake in a heathen culture, you're going to grasp other aspects of that culture, not just the one that you think you can relate to, but everything else. Look at all those woke brothers in Egyptology. What's his name? Polite. The other cat that got in jail, I think, right before Polite. His name is
Dr. York.
Hey, Dr. York as well, but I was gonna say Jamal Rashad. They all believe they're gods and Egyptians and Nubians and Ether 9. They're all child molesters at the end of the day. Just like the Egyptians, they're sexual deviants. You understand? And that's why you should don't partake in any other culture than your own, because our culture is perfect. We have laws against we have dietary laws where you're not supposed to eat certain stuff, and not today you eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, and we're the people with the highest rate of heart diseases, diabetes whatsoever. You understand? We're not supposed to follow after other gods. You want to worship a rock, then you become a child molester. Or you want to worship an Egyptian god, and you become the damn same. Right? You want to be a Christian. It's all Christianity at the end of the day. Right? But go ahead and read Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 when you got it out of one book.
It's the book of Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. A lot of they don't even know where Halloween come from. They don't even know it is a worship of other pagan gods from the Celts, and then the Romans implemented their own traditions in that pagan celebration. They don't know that, but they're so-called woke. They're woke, knocking door to door for some candy. They're woke, sending their children to the fire. They send their children to the abuse. They're feeding the lion. It's like, imagine a gazelle giving birth and bringing her baby to the cheetah or the leopard. You understand? That's what it is. That's what they're doing. What is the Christians, the Muslims, whatever the case, because y'all are hypocrites. It's all pagan celebrations. Read that again, Mabukusha.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Keep reading.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because when we're on the street telling you that you are of the 12 tribes of Israel, you're a Benjamite, you're Mexican, you're Issacharite. You understand? You're from South America, you're Asherite, right? Or a Naphthalite. You're a Zebulonite. You're a Judite. You look at us like we're crazy. We'll tell you the oppressors, the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. He said the Bible is a white man's book. But you don't read that the Bible actually speaks about the demise of that people. Right? We're destroyed because of lack of knowledge, because we reject the knowledge, because you decide to not listen to the I.S.U.P.K. Salakia Adawan.
Right. No sweat. Throughout a Barakiala and Officer Shariwan for holding it down. Right. So what Officer Baraki Allah is bringing out is definitely heavy. Like when you celebrate Halloween, you are rejecting the Father. You are turning around and saying that you are not willing to obey the Father. This is something the Christian church does on a regular basis. The Christian church knows nothing about obeying the Father, right? But we were going into the history of trick-or-treating, right? And when we last finished reading, it was talking about how women were doing things, trying to manifest a husband, right? They were trying to get a husband divinely, right? And for lack of time is why I just gave you what I was talking about earlier. Earlier, I asked Akia, what do women in the world say, right? And they say they manifest everything. I got a
Right.
job today. I manifested it. Bitch, what the fuck you Salakia. Salakia. Good night. What the hell are you talking about? You manifested this job today? So you thought about it really hard and that's how you got the job. You didn't have to get up and brush your teeth and go put on some clothes and go sit in this oppressor's office and play nice. That's what you didn't do that. They say things like they manifest this job. These sisters are outside naked today trying to manifest a husband. They're trying to divinely get a husband. They think, Salakia, in the world, when a brother sees, I'm going to give you the truth. In the world, when a brother sees a woman naked, he's thinking about what is going to be like tonight with her. He's
Right.
like, damn, I'm get behind her. I'm trying to jump all over her. She's naked. I don't even have to undress her. She's already undressed. That's what a brother is thinking about. He's trying to hit it and quit it one time. You didn't hear Drake? He said, one time is fine with me. That's what Drake said. So you should understand what brothers are thinking when they see you naked. And that's a millionaire. What's the average brother thinking? He didn't want the headache. He just wants to spend the $400 to get the bottle of liquor in the club. And that's about it. You don't have to do nothing else. Right? Barak, can you keep reading?
Karawakan. In the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers than about ghosts, pranks, and witchcraft.
Right. When you read more into this article, right, especially when you read the history of jack-o'-lanterns, you're going to find out that these people, when it comes to trick-or-treating, right, when it comes to trick-or-treating, it dates really back to the Druids. They would knock at your door and you would either give them something, right? They're trying to leave with something. They want something. They're knocking at your door. They're pressing you. They are taxing you. You got to give something up. Or they're going to give you the trick. They want the treat, but if you don't give them the treat, they're going to give you the trick. Meaning they would have burnt down your house. They might have killed some livestock. They could have burnt down your bar. Today you see it as people throwing eggs at a house. It would have been much worse back then. They could have went into your house and violated your whole family. Right? Because that's what the trick or treating was about. Brock, keep reading.
Kanawakan. At the turn of the century, Halloween parties for both children and adults became the most common way to celebrate the day. Parties focused on games, foods of the season, and festive costumes.
You can keep reading.
Karawakan. Parents were encouraged by newspapers and community leaders to take anything frightening or grotesque out of Halloween celebrations. Because of these efforts, Halloween lost most of its superstitious and religious overtones by the beginning of the 20th century.
One second. You can keep reading.
Wakan, Halloween parties. By the 1920s and 1930s, Halloween had become a secular but community-centered holiday, with parades and townwide Halloween parties as the featured entertainment. Despite the best efforts of many schools and communities, vandalism began to plague some celebrations in many communities during this time.
All right, so you can stop there, right? This is again, vandalism has always been a part of this tradition. It goes back to the Druids. Sharywan, I had you hold something for me. Can you read it because it goes with what we're talking about, where again, people will let their children dictate what happens in the house. Everybody wants to do something. There's a common phrase: "We did it for the children." Listen, you're doing it for yourself, right?
Right.
You see how many 1-year-old birthday parties have you heard about in the world? Like the baby just turned 1. This baby still don't talk or walk. And you throwing a birthday party. There's a bouncy castle at the birthday party. All right, there's a bouncy castle. Listen, there's also liquor. Why is there liquor at a 1-year-old's birthday party? What does the liquor have to do with the 1-year-old? The 1-year-old ain't drinking. Who's this party for? Salakia. That 1-year-old birthday party has nothing to do with the 1-year-old. Taking your children to Halloween parties have nothing to do with the children. It's just a way for parents to go have a party. It's a way for the consumer to spend money.
Right.
They designed it so now the consumer goes and spends money. Listen, it's at the beginning of September. I was seeing Halloween decorations. This September, it's like 60 days away, and they started selling those Halloween celebrations early. You go into the malls right now, or you go into Walmart, you're gonna see the whole aisle that's dedicated to Halloween, and it says 50% off. Because by all means, they got to get rid of all this stuff, right? Again, Halloween is nothing to do with the Lord. Most people celebrate Halloween, and they force their children to do it, or they have their children do it. It's them sacrificing their child to another god, having them walk through the fire. Shariwan, can you read? Can you read 31?
Ezekiel chapter 31.
Ezekiel 20 and 31.
Come on. This book of Ezekiel chapter 20. Come on, sir. This book of Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 31. For when ye offer your gifts, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourselves with all your idols.
Hold it right there, right? What is that talking about? People would sacrifice their children. Israelites would sacrifice their children to the gods that were around them, right? The Israelites would sacrifice their children to the god Baal, right? That is what's happening when Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have their children celebrate Halloween. You are sacrificing your child to another god, right? You have your child walk through that fire, right? That's how they would celebrate the children. They would sacrifice the children. People are having their child walk through that fire of Halloween, indoctrinating them in something that has nothing to do with us as a people, right? It has nothing to do with us. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Even unto this day.
Right, and even onto it's 2023, and Black people are still celebrating the celebrations of the oppressors. Even onto this day, you pollute your child's mind with the love of his oppressor, doing everything that the oppressor wants them to do. Right, you send them to school. You spend money on a costume that, listen, people be outside spending $60 on a Halloween costume that they're only going to wear for 10 minutes, right? You take a whole community and take all the Halloween costume money and put it together. You could open up a small business that everyone can eat from, and over time grow that into a empire of small businesses, right? But the oppressor rather you have the hardworking money that you slave for him and go give it right back to him. He just gives you days of whoredom to go give the money back to him. You brothers are outside right now talking about they're getting ready to go dress up as Woody Allen in Toy Story because they want to go to a club, because they understand that sisters are going to be in that club trying to drink for free, half naked. That's what's happening tonight. Right. Where were we? Shari one, can you continue reading if you're with us?
Come. Even unto this day, and shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel? As I live, saith the Lord God.
That's the Most High asking the question. Is he going to be inquired of by the children of Israel? Like tonight when you're outside doing Lord knows what, are you going to be thinking about the Most High? Is the Most High going to be on your mind? Listen, it's Halloween. Damn, that sister got a whole thing out. I wonder what the Most High is doing. Is that going to be running through your mind? Should I be outside right now? Is the Most High going to punish me for celebrating in this false idol? And y'all, listen, I'm gonna harp on these sisters for a moment because y'all sisters, y'all ain't be thinking about nothing except for what's between your legs. Y'all like to say brothers do that. Y'all like to say, I remember all the older women in my family when I was growing up, they would always say stuff like, don't think with your other head, make sure you wrap it up. And it's like, I'm not even thinking about anything like that right now. I'm in grade 8 going into grade 9. I'm trying to go to the pool and go swimming or ride my bike. I'm not even thinking about a woman. But that's what they would say to the young men. When in reality, sisters aren't thinking about anything except what's in front of them. And you brothers aren't thinking about the consequences of taking this sister home and laying with her for the night and what's going to happen. Right? Y'all ain't even thinking about that at all. You are not thinking about if you take this sister home drunk and y'all are both drunk and y'all didn't ask any question, you don't know what her background is, you don't know what her family life is like, you don't know if you get her pregnant, was she going to put you on that draconian child support system or not? You absolutely have no idea about none of that stuff because you only thought about sleeping with this woman while y'all were both drunk and now she's pregnant. Right, this is what happens during Halloween. This is the lack of discipline and being not with the Lord, having the Lord not on your side. You just want to go do whatever you feel you can do. All right, well, y'all got to suffer the consequences. Y'all remember that story about the Edomite DJ, the Caucasian DJ, who was sleeping with a bunch of sisters, I think somewhere in the South. It might be Florida. Right, and he was giving out the monster left, right, and center. He had the whole monster. He had the monster, and he was giving it to them sisters. And them sisters be angry right now because they gotta pop a pill every day they don't have Magic Johnson money. They don't got that Magic Johnson money. So Magic Johnson, he was able to beat the monster or at least keep it at bay. They don't have that money, so they're freaking out right now because this devil gave him HIV/AIDS.
Damn.
Show you one. Can you keep? Was that it? Was that all of the verse?
Salaki.
Read the last part.
Come. As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you.
Right. Now, listen, this is, again, are you going to not think about the actions of the crimes you're committing against the Lord? Right. What happened to... Right, are you not going to think about the actions of the consequences? Right, Barak Allah. There is one more. Barak Allah, I need you to read this last part. Thus, a new American tradition was born.
In which article, Adawan?
Right before the
like in which paragraph?
The same Halloween parties. Look at Halloween parties. It's the last paragraph in the Halloween party section.
Khan. Thus, a new American tradition was born, and it has continued to grow. Today, Americans spend an estimated $6 billion annually on Halloween, making it the country's second largest commercial holiday after Christmas.
Damn.
Good night.
Right. 1 second.
And them billions they sent into Ukraine.
Listen, yeah, they made so much money off Halloween. Especially, this is what they do, right? Now, Brock, I have another article that I wanted you to read real fast. It's in the email that I sent you, right? This is, all right, so I told you I was going to link it with the two of them, right? Children go missing every year. Halloween is a thing where you send your child to go knock on a stranger's door and ask him for candy. That you're a horrible parent. If you've ever sent your child to go knock on a stranger's door to ask for candy, you are a horrible parent.
Right.
You're horrible. You're terrible. You are a bad person. You don't care about your child. That's what you're finding out, because you send them to go knock on that child's door. You absolutely do not care about that child. And you're going to ask, why? Why don't you care? Well, we just told you stranger danger. You send your child outside and say, listen, do not talk to that stranger if they walk up to you. Then in that same year, you send your child to that same stranger's house and say, go walk up to that stranger now and go ask for some candy. Your child is confused. You're confusing your child. And when your child is walking outside, that same daughter that you said not to talk to strangers, when she's in grade 6 walking down the block, because this is a neighborhood, nothing can happen in the neighborhood. I could just let her walk from the school to her house and everything will be all right. Then the van door slides open and that man says, hey, we're selling iPhones. We're selling iPhones and we're giving away tickets to a Drake concert. You just have to answer these questions. And your daughter walks up to that van, because it's not stranger danger no more. You told her stranger danger. And then in the same year that you told her stranger danger, you said it's okay for her to walk up to the house of the stranger and ask for candy. And every year you do the same thing. You tell her one thing, and then you tell her she could disregard what you told her earlier. And now there's some stranger who's clearly a danger to her trying to sell her an iPhone that does not exist, or trying to give her an iPhone that does not exist, and now she's missing. This happens to boys a lot too. Boys, you want your boy to be brave and have him walk around the neighborhood after school or after the basketball or soccer or wrestling practice, and you told him not to go up to no stranger, because stranger danger. And in that same year, you told him it's okay to dress up as a goblin. You don't have to be afraid of monsters today. Dress up as a goblin, as a wizard, as a Power Ranger, a Ninja Turtle. You could be Superman or Spider-Man and go ask that stranger at his house who we don't know. We absolutely do not know this person. We've never been there. We've never spoke to them. Go knock on his door and ask him for some candy. All right, that's the hypocrisy of parents today in the world. You are setting your children up for failure. In the I.S.U.P.K, we don't do that. Listen, you want Halloween candy? No, you can't have Halloween candy. You cannot go outside and go ask for Halloween candy. But what I will do is I'll just have candy in my house. I'll just go to Dollarama and buy all the candy I want, so I don't have to have my child walk outside for Halloween candy and be in danger and be taken, right? And there's not going to be, what's that devil? What's that devil from the movie Taken, Brock?
What's his name again? Liam something.
Yeah, Liam Nielsen. Your child is going to be taken, and your baby father is not Liam Nielsen. He's not going to Europe and going to France to go get your daughter back. It's not happening. This is the sad reality. There are over 70,000 missing Black and Hispanic women in Canada. Right? When you look at the numbers of Native sisters who are missing over the last 30, 40 years, the numbers are devastating. It's astonishing. It's a horrible thing. You're looking at these numbers like, how are all these sisters missing? I remember as a young man coming into this school, I think I was just a 50, and I did the history class not too long ago. Right? It seems like it's not too long ago. It seems like it was just yesterday. The time in here creeps. It's very slow. It seems like it's just yesterday. I'm still a baby in this truth, right? I just know a little bit. I ask my camp leader and the men above me. Sometimes I might ask Barak Allah, hey Barak or Sharyuan, Officer Sharyuan, I'm looking for a precept. Do you have it? Do you know this precept? Because I'm still a young man in this truth. But I remember I did a story as a young officer of 50 about the red dresses and the fences with the red dresses on them. And if you look at that fence with all the red dresses on them, and I think it's near the highway of tears, or it's near some highway up north, right? The red dresses look eerie. It has a eerie effect to it. It has a effect like, yo, what is this? This is something out of a horror movie. That's because it is a horror movie to the Native sisters. The red dresses represent the thousands and thousands of Native sisters missing. Native children missing. You wonder why these children are going missing. The answer is because you told them it was okay to go to Halloween and go ask strangers for candy. Brock, do you have that article?
Karawakan. This is Salakia. This is from missingkids.ca. Missing Children Database. In Canada, more than 50,000 children are reported missing to police each year.
Good night. That is to let you know that is a high number of children missing each year. Why are these children missing? Like what is going on that has these children going missing each year? What you're finding out is there are predators in Canada. There are predators who they predatorize children and sisters, especially the Native sisters. The Native sisters cannot even walk outside without going missing. And this has been happening since residential schools. Children have been going missing on reservations since residential schools. The Canadian government and the Catholic Church would just come and snatch the children off the reservations and bring them to these residential schools. And now we're finding out that children are going missing. These children, our children, especially children in the world, are not taught the sense of danger. Because why? You told your children it was okay for them to go up to a stranger and ask for candy. And now a stranger's offering them candy and an iPhone. He got it. Listen, Barak, you would be surprised at what these Edomites are doing.
Right.
You'd be surprised. There are people who are running scams outside. They will give you a box that you think it has an iPhone in it, and it has rocks. There's a big rock in the box, and the iPhone box has the seal on it and everything. They put the plastic on it and put the heater on the plastic and made it shrink, and you think it's a brand new iPhone fresh out the box. It's a rock. There are people doing the same thing to children, telling them that they have some type of gadget or some type of candy, especially for young children under a certain age. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you, grade 5 and down, you offering them some candy, good night. That child is following you off the edge of a cliff for some candy, some Hubba Bubba gum, some Skittles
Reese's
are
Pieces.
unlawful, so I'm not gonna say Skittles, right? For some Jolly Ranchers. I like Jolly Ranchers. That won't have no gelatin in it, right? Right. For some Reese's Pieces, Officer Barakiala. I don't know what these little kids like, but listen, I remember when I was a kid. Yeah, Barack, you know them little call them pixie sticks. It's like the little stick with sugar in it. It looks like
So
a
like
straw.
is it the little candy that looks like a cigarette?
No. There's that too. Listen, you tell they'll be giving the little Popeye cigarettes to these children during Halloween, and then you're wondering why your child is smoking. Like, why is this child smoking? This child is smoking. It's grade 6. He got a full blown cigarette in his mouth, in her mouth, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Well, you gave him the Popeye cigarette. Why are you angry now?
Right.
You gave it to him. You told him he could, and he got the Popeye cigarette, and he's not even eating it like it's candy. He's smoking the Popeye cigarette. He acting like it's actually on fire. Right. So that is why you shouldn't let your child celebrate Halloween. Again, this has nothing to do with the Most High. The Most High hates our feast days. He hates our feast days. He hates all the reveling, all the murder, all the sexual orgies, all the horrible things, right? You can find that in Galatians 5:21, right? He hates all of those things. That's what Halloween is about. So with that said, Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. This has been another scripture breakdown class. Right, I'm going to hand the class over to Priest and Officer 500 Barakiala. Clap it up.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like. Upcoming holy convocation. In 1 second, we have the feast of dedication, which is Hanukkah, which is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which falls on Thursday, December 7th, 2023, for 8 days. You can read more about it in the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 to 61, and the Apocrypha. If Reminder to all Akim and Akwatian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location. And if anyone wants to be if any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. So that's going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. All right. Men of visual majam, which means to stand, will give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of visual majam Shabbat, majam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Racham, which means Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless y'all. Yajamata, hands down. Sar, which means to turn, will give a courtesy salute to the sisters now. So turn and face your sisters if you have any in your presence. Men of Israel, Majam Shabbat, Majam, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Atan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which means Yahweh watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, hands down, class dismissed.
I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never